They're moving from a perspective of scarcity. Drake and academics, they've never accomplished anything in their lives. This is the first time they've ever had a position of power. So they're moving from the perspective of lack. And the first time they actually experience this type of mentality is when they have millions of people watching them. And by that time, it's too late.
Kendrick friggin' Lamar.
Kendrick Lamar is back again with a new song that he has just released via Instagram.
I looked on the gram and Kendrick had dropped Watch the Party Die.
If they've called the game, they've called the match. You yourself seemingly has said the white flag was thrown. You yourself said there's no round twos. Why would you ever engage again?
I see some.
It was not even talking at Drake. That wasn't talking directly at Drake at all. This was not just a, hey, Drake, I'm coming at you. This is way bigger than Drake. This is way bigger than Drake. This is about the Diddy situation that's going on right now. This is about the entire industry. Nah, he don't get it.
Some of the thirsty Drake fans out there trying to make it sound like it's some huge deal. Oh, he's at no round twos. It's round two. It's not a round two. You totally missed the point. Go grab a book or don't.
I see a lot of people saying that this isn't a diss track at all, and he's not coming for Drake whatsoever. I disagree.
Of course, I didn't take any of these.
Man, I do not like when these. I don't want to make this sound racist, but when this caliber of white dude speaks on this beef, this has nothing to do with you, bro. You're not like us. They are moving from a perspective of strictly music. They don't have any perspective. They have no understanding what actually goes on in our communities. They don't understand that the mass majority of black men have the earliest sexual initiation on this planet. They don't understand these stats. They don't understand the culture and the actual energy and why we do what we do. They're only looking at this shit like it's a fucking movie. Like it's a TV show. They're commenting like there's some type of Animal Planet document. Like they're making a documentary or some shit. Like, bro, chill out. The same thing with the Watch the Dirt dude. Same thing with Trap Lord Ross. Same thing with all this caliber of dudes, this caliber of white men that keeps stepping in between this situation. Like, bro, this is not just a rap beef, man. This is the black community saying, fuck that, we tired of this shit. And they don't understand that. This goes directly to them as well. Man, it is what it is, man.
Bars as a direct shot to Drake.
I don't believe the record is just about Drake. I think he's talking about just the culture, you know, people in the world, society, the
media,
industry,
TV.
media.
Just walk that man down. That'll do everyone a solid. I mean, again, who else is he talking about?
The first place to start is this song is not called Watch the Party Die. This song is untitled.
Get him gone. We gonna watch the party die. Send him home. We gonna watch the party die. When I first heard that, by the way, I was wondering, like, is he talking about Party Next Door?
Ack, he sound like Aiden Ross, bro. Ack, him and Aiden Ross, Maul, Andrew Schultz, they all have the same brain, dog. They share a single brain cell. These dudes are idiots, man.
Like, I get what he's saying. I understand what the song was meant to do, but this is not something that I would ever go back to listen to again.
Y'all think this shit's fire? You're a dick sucker. Oh God, you're a dick sucker. This shit, this shit trash as fuck, bro.
Hey, Freudian slip, man. He about to say this shit hard. Hey. And just imagine you're a Drake fan. Look who you have on your side defending you. Academics, Maul, Andrew Schultz, Adam 22, and Aiden Ross. Come on, bro.
Thank God for Kendrick. This was terrible. And what I mean by terrible, the actual song is not terrible. But the move of dropping this song at this moment is fucking terrible.
I like the record. I just think the timing is wrong for me. I think it's the wrong time. I think especially after everything that's going on with the whole Super Bowl thing, I just think to put a song out like that.
I completely disagree, especially since it was at the VMAs. And Kendrick did more numbers and got more attention than the actual entire industry. That song, not only the song, but the chess move proved his point. So, and it just goes like, it's a certain caliber of dude. You can easily tell who this music was designed for, who's going to attach onto it, and who's actually going to do something. Like I keep saying, this is energy. This is frequency. We're having a conversation through music. Music is a universal language. And these are the caliber of men who only use music to numb their actual situation. They don't actually want to do anything with this. They're not intentional at all. They listen to music as a drug to numb and hide and escape. That's the complete opposite of masculinity, bro. The complete opposite.
Song is a flip of Untitled 1 from Untitled Unmastered.
I like what he was talking about. I understand everything he was saying. Sonically, it was
Kendrick here saying it's time to watch the party die. This is what he's talking about. He's talking about the direction in which the industry has gone.
He talked about being disappointed in the media. He talked about the walk him down line, which I think was a shot at Drake, basically saying, like, I've already quieted him. That was good for all the people.
We don't want to hear you talk about the fake industry dudes, the media niggas. Talk about why you have changed your stance, seemingly. And you're now the same person that's pushing the line for the same people you said oppressed your brother.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
Yeah, I don't get what he's saying.
Academic said Kendrick diss Drake again. He like round 2 is on the way. Nah, man.
Many have been kind of talking about this track as if it's like an additional diss toward Drake or another victory lap for him.
People are mad about the Super Bowl, and then you drop this record. It's like kicking a dog while it's down. That's how I take it.
Overall, the message.
Absolutely. Wayne is a part of this bullshit too. Y'all seen that video of Wayne going around saying he was sexually assaulted at 11 years old and he loved it? He was telling a 15-year-old Lil Twist saying, hey, I'm going to do you the exact same way Birdman did me. I'm going to sexually assault you the exact same way Birdman did to me. Fuck them niggas too. They don't get this shit. They just, well, the music, I can't stand a grown-ass kid. Like, bro, you're easily falling for the siren song. You're trying to talk to Audacious. And you're falling for the siren song, bro. We can't communicate, bro. We're not equals, man. Not because we're not actual equals, because you don't want to. They volunteer for that bullshit. They volunteer for their ignorance. Especially as a grown man, I can't do that shit, bro. I'm half your age and I can't respect you, bro.
In the song, I thought was cool.
This is not a Drake diss track, although there are things that are still aimed at Drake here.
I understand what the message he's saying. Like, you know, we need to start talking about addressing more serious things, you know.
Same person that said if I catch flight, it's going to be direct. And I'm not sneak dissing, I'm not subbing. So for you to, if this were a Drake diss and you come out subbing like this, it's very hypocritical of everything you just said.
I would love to hear Kendrick Lamar thoughts on why the hell he's now in bed with the NFL when a couple of years ago he was squarely on the side of Colin Kaepernick.
Come on, use your head. You're just making it worse.
This fool just dropped a fucking basically diss song at Drake in motherfucking September.
I don't agree with some of the framing that this track is like, oh, Kendrick's starting it up again. This is round 2. When no, this is in fact not round 2.
If you've won and you've been seen as one so gracefully and so strategically as people claimed you won, why would you ever want to run that back again?
I believe
Academics doesn't understand the art of war. He doesn't understand. You have to completely destroy your enemy in totality. He has to completely destroy the idea of Drake altogether. He can't just destroy Drake, the entire party, man. Listen to the song, Act. Come on, man. And even like
corporations, companies, higher ups are at war with Drake.
This move told me that Kendrick don't got nothing going on if it ain't got nothing to do with Drake.
Who's the radio personality? Who is it?
It's Charlamagne.
He talked about radio personalities.
Yeah, that is.
Charlamagne, absolutely. And Charlamagne, he went on too. He got him a case. It's all these dudes have a case. They have some type of sexual assault case against them. All of them. All the nasty motherfuckers. Adam 22. PDF File. Academics. Got a case. Drake. He got videotapes floating around. Like, bro. Charlemagne. Matt Hoffa. All of these dudes. And these are the ones you want on your side. Man, y'all OVO dudes nasty, man.
That is true.
I think he's talking about, the propaganda that is pushed on radio. Like, radio does push a lot of the music that probably is influencing people wrong.
Why reason with these guys if they can't see the future first? He's putting himself in the position of being prophetic. But it's also a double because of Like That, seeing the future first. Like That was a song with Future that first started this beef.
I feel like this track illustrates the fact that Kendrick's beef with Drake was so much bigger than Drake to begin with.
You can't.
Exactly. And men like Drake and academics, they're so egotistical. They think that everything is about them. They don't understand that we're moving from completely different perspectives. Even though it looks extremely similar. Like I keep saying a lot of my streams, the white and gold dress versus the blue and black dress. They're moving from a perspective of scarcity. Drake and academics, they've never accomplished anything in their lives. This is the first time they've ever had a position of power. So they're moving from the perspective of lack. Kendrick and others, Starsky, we're moving from an abundant mindset. I've always been a champion. I've been on the honor roll multiple times. Had plenty of leadership positions. Captain of my sports team. Vice president in college. President of Future Business Leaders of America. Like having people genuinely depend on me. Hiring and firing people. Having people have their livelihoods depend on me. These men have never experienced that before. And the first time they actually experience this type of mentality is when they have millions of people watching them. And by that time, it's too late.
Say there isn't no game 2, then immediately drop a track seemingly baiting game 2.
Whole back and forth wasn't really about fighting with a single man. It was more about fighting with what he sees this man as a symptom of.
This does feel like an epilogue for Kendrick where he's overviewing the battle and the aftermath of it. But even though it doesn't seem like he wants to re-engage in that battle, he is instigating Drake's ass.
Drake is supposed to be the nigga who can't get over this, right? Like Drake is the obsessed nigga. He's supposed to be obsessed.
Why?
What I feel like he's mostly upset about through his lyrics is just this lack of music that gives listeners and gives people hope.
Feels like Kendrick is trying to cleanse and purify hip-hop culture and push artists to make music with a real message and that has a lot of substance to it.
I think these songs are trying to figure are Kendrick trying to figure out the direction he should go. I think he's trying to see if people want that versus do they just want catchy songs.
Influencers talk down because I'm not with the basic stuff.
I'm gonna go fuck what these niggas want. People like academics have no idea how to put themselves in somebody else's shoes. They have no basic understanding of just human nature. They don't understand that not everyone thinks like them. Not everyone is moving from your perspective, bro. Like, bro, it's so difficult to have conversations with men like him because they only listen to respond. You can tell that he just loves to hear himself speak. Yep. He just loves to talk, man.
This is just a criticism of the culture and Drake fans, basically.
He's talking about, I think he's making broad generalizations because there's another part where he says the influencer. I think he's just talking about the culture of influencers.
People just want catchy songs, my nigga. Like, they don't want you talking in hieroglyphics.
This flip of sometimes I wonder what look.
This nigga want to shake his ass, man. Him and Maul want to see that twerking and shit.
Cray would do is a flip on Drake. Because
him and Odell.
Because Drake has a song called What Would Pluto Do?
Then wonder why I'm not enthused to drop. The more visible you get, the more your spiritual is tried. I'm going to be honest with you. That's a weak excuse, man. Kendrick, you don't want to drop because you don't want to drop, my nigga. You don't gotta bet. You don't gotta like blame it on your spiritual.
If you're Drake right now, it would be very fucking tempting to respond to this in some way.
Either a song that was in his war chest for the battle, or a song directly or clearly aimed at Drake. Either or, I just think it's a bad move.
Kendrick, for somebody who doesn't drop, and this is what I'm saying, he's having the best year with quality over quantity.
The thing I agree with and resonate with the most that Kendrick is saying is just the integrity.
And it just goes back to understanding that when you're an artist, you're constantly creating. Just because Kendrick is not dropping does not mean he's not creating. Prince had an entire vault with thousands of songs. Prince had thousands of songs that he will never release. Most artists have thousands of songs they'll never release. But this is the difference. Drake, he puts out bullshit. Simple, watered down, extremely digestible bullshit. I understand it. I understand it's necessary. But to put it above Kendrick just because of stats and numbers, that just goes back to your own personal mindset. When they constantly need their top artists to be the number one most popular on streaming and win all the awards and that type of shit, because they themselves want to be justified. They don't understand that the mass majority of society does not give a damn about that shit. They like what they like because we like it. We can like a small independent artist just because we like them. Drake fans cannot do that. Drake fans, they refuse. They need their favorite artists to be trendy and popular and clout chasing and shit. They need someone to live vicariously through. And that's so weird, man.
Integrity part, like people not having no integrity and people
That's
just
been a long time.
doing anything for a check.
The message is what I was, I was happy to hear. Like, okay, like, I'm not mad at him putting that in the ecosystem right now, especially coming off of the whole beef thing.
What this tells me is a few things. Either he's misreading the room, misread this whole Game 2 thing.
Hey, appreciate the Spider Monkey.
Drive yourself crazy. Okay, the only thing you can do is continue to be the change you want to see in the world, because this ain't stopping no time soon.
We got other real shit going on that we need to address in our communities. So yeah, for that, I listened to it and I was like, okay. Like,
let me tell you something. If you think that the NFL and Rock Nation and a bunch of other people didn't get a whole bunch of legal letters yesterday from people with owls as their stamp on,
you're not gonna call me a pedophile.
You're not calling me a pedophile in the Super Bowl.
No.
All right?
What the deal, everybody? My name Kendrick Lamar, and I'll be performing at Super Bowl 59. Will you be pulling up? I hope so.
Please, have mercy.
Hey, man. Y'all know for a fact I'll be live streaming that entire event, man. Y'all know I'll be there. So y'all get ready for that. We can have us a Super Bowl party, man. Because Drake really was trying to use Cole as a middleman. Almost like Thanos used a lot of lower tier supervillains before Thanos actually showed up in the Avengers. Drake never saw J. Cole as an equal. And J. Cole was just going along with it, but at the same time, J. Cole, he now fully realizes, yeah, this is weird. He's weird and always has been weird.
Greenville Fest 2023, to then Cole making multiple surprise appearances during Drake's It's a Blur tour. These two were clearly closer than they have been in years, and aside from just performing together, we did get the promise that they were working on new music, as during a performance with Drake and Cole, Drake did this.
Hopefully an album that I can get on, maybe. Maybe I can get on the album. Can I get on the album? I'm gonna ask in front of a bunch of y'all. J. Cole, can we get on your album? You know, let's get on.
So now with Drake asking to be on the Fall Off and then rumors emerging that these two were working on more music aside from this, the hype really started to emerge about...
Drake loves to love bomb people on stage, man. He does that with every rapper he brings out. Man, that's a stereotypical narcissist move, bro. They love that shit. That's the reason why he constantly loves being praised. He doesn't like being challenged at all. That's the reason why he's so sensitive. He's projecting. He wants to be praised that way. He wants to be talked about that way. So he talks about people that way so he can receive that in reciprocity. Man, Drake is so goddamn weird, bro. And that's the reason why he has so many yes men around him. It's extremely obvious, bro. It may seem like, oh, I'm just hating on Drake. Absolutely. I dislike the caliber of man Drake is. Drake is like Edison. Drake is like Mr. Krabs. I don't respect this caliber of man. I don't respect his archetype. I don't respect his character, his multiverse at all.
What it would sound like to hear these two giants in hip-hop come together at this point in their careers, and now, of course, all of this excitement and speculation was actualized when Drake dropped his 8th studio album, For All the Dogs, which of course featured the track First Person Shooter, and now with this record, it pretty much captured the very spirit and essence of what these two were trying to build up to all year, as they created an anthem that was celebrating their greatness and contributions to hip-hop, as they declared themselves as the best rappers of this generation, and the top 2 within the big 3, which may be important for later. And now following this song, which ended up reaching #1 on the Billboard Hot 100 and became Cole's first song to top the charts. And then another collab between them titled Evil Ways, which was on Drake's Scary Hours 3. Drake and Cole were closer than two rap giants have been in what has felt like decades, but now towards the end of Cole and Drake's tour. And after Cole had already left the tour because of scheduling issues, everything would change between them on March 22nd, is when Future and Metro Boomin released We Don't Trust You. As Kendrick Lamar's Like That verse, of course, exploded the rap world, and specifically, Drake and J. Cole.
And you can easily tell the game plan. Even Kendrick was mad, was like, bro, why did you let Drake put you on that song? So he can son you. Drake knew exactly what he was doing. That's the reason why he wanted Kendrick on that song too. Man, Drake, and he's not a stupid dude, but he plays this game like Mean Girls. He plays too many politics for me, bro, and that's lame as hell to me.
Directly, as what Kendrick did there was a direct response to First Person Shooter. All of a sudden, the spotlight was on Kendrick, Drake, and J. Cole, as people awaited to hear how they would respond to Lamar's words, and now originally, J. Cole and Drake were seen as being on the same side, as they were both placed against Kendrick. Following when J. Cole released his Kendrick Lamar diss track 7 Minute Drill, and then apologized to Kendrick only a few days after, there would be a turning point in Cole and Drake's relationship, because as the beef between Drake and Kendrick continued following Cole backing out, on both push-ups and family matters, Drake referenced J. Cole and his decision to back down out of this beef multiple times in a way that was very disparaging and showed that at the very least, Drake fundamentally didn't respect the decision Cole made in this beef, and was pretty much calling him weak for backing out, as with lyrics about him losing sleep and then praising the guy who was dissing him. Drake pretty much disregards Cole's sentiment about why he did what he did in the first place, and then uses him as a lyrical doormat for the rest of his disses, and now between this, and then looking at the end result of this beef when it was all over and done.
He was treating J. Cole like he was like an afterthought almost. At first, he was like, oh, Mo, it's just like J. Cole was moving like Drake was an equal, and Drake never thought that, man. He ain't never see Drake as J. Cole as no part of the big 3. Like Drake, he felt the exact same way as Kendrick Lamar. Drake also felt the big me type thing, but J. Cole was the only one trying to play middle child, trying to be pacifist and shit. And now you see how his legacy turns out, man. That apology will forever be a part of his legacy. He can never live that down, ever.
Done with. It seems like Drake started to resent Cole and felt a lot of disdain for him because he felt like he dropped out of the battle they were all in and pretty much put the burden of battling Kendrick solely on his shoulders. And now seeing the way Drake has gotten so much hate for staying in the ring, yet Cole has gotten praise for what seems like backing out. From Drake's end of things, it definitely would make sense why he would be so angry at Cole and why he would hold this against him. And now while all of this would be speculation at this point if we had no further evidence of where they stood, we did end up getting more confirmation about how Drake directly feels about J. Cole, as when he rolled out his 100 gigs website and unprivated his burner Finsta account Plot Twist, Drake posted a series of clues and posts that all represented things he was feeling and hinting to, which while it's pathetic for a 40-year-old man to use a fake social media account as a mood board of some sort, it did show us once again just how low Drake thinks of J. Cole, because throughout all of the strange and desperate grabs for attention Drake made on this page, he posted a meme that used to go around about J. Cole to try to diminish his reputation and make him look like an absolute clown, and now with Drake co-signing something that just makes Cole look so pathetic. Between the lyrics in his diss tracks and now this, we can see that after performances and tours where Drake hyped up J. Cole as this great and stoic figure, and now we have seen him pretty much throw him to the side and try to paint him as this sad and pathetic character.
And I just told you, that goes back to the narcissist. They'll love bomb you, then as soon as you stop giving them narcissistic supply, they'll dispose of you. Man, it's so obvious, bro.
There is a clear change in Drake's demeanor towards J. Cole, and based on his rage about how Cole exited his beef and how it put him in the position where it destroyed his career pretty much, I think it's pretty clear that Drake hates J. Cole right now for all of this without a doubt, and making things even worse. During all this time, Cole has been on a sort of feature tour with Drake's biggest rivals in the rap game, because from appearing alongside Future and Metro Boomin on their track Red Leather on We Still Don't Trust You right after he backed out of the beef, to then recently appearing alongside A$AP Rocky and The Alchemist on Rocky's track Ruby Rosary, where he is literally dissing Drake. Some people have perceived the rappers Cole has been working with as of recent as him fully switching sides and going against Drake in full, and while on one hand, Cole does not seem like, after making the apology he made to Kendrick, that he would fight Drake's pure hatred with petty moves. At the same time, by appearing on a track with A$AP Rocky where Drake is literally being dissed, Cole did have to clear the song to get it released, which means that he did understand the message he would be sending to Drake.
Yeah, absolutely. Cole is not stupid, bro, at all. Even though Drake is trying to make Cole seem like he getting a little road, nah. That's the reason why Kendrick was pissed off in the first place. It's like, bro, Cole, you let Drake get you in the middle of this shit. Because Drake really was trying to use Cole as a middleman, almost like Thanos used a lot of lower tier supervillains before Thanos actually showed up in the Avengers, Infinity War. But Drake never saw J. Cole as an equal. And J. Cole was just going along with it, but at the same time, J. Cole, he now fully realizes, yeah, this nigga is weird. He's weird and always has been weird. So, hey, it sucks that he had to find out this way, man.
And the rap world by doing this, and while Cole has not rapped about this situation directly yet, based on what we have seen, it is clear that at the very least, he is silently defending his name from the disrespect Drake tried to throw on it by working with rappers who he is clearly at odds with, and while at this point, Cole is not interested in a full-on lyrical one-on-one because that's clearly not his wave, and Drake has way too many active beefs between Kendrick, A$AP Rocky, Future, and many more to start another one. What's clear is that when we look at how these two went from being best friends in the industry and could not stop celebrating each other's greatness, and now we are seeing them constantly disrespect one another and do things that clearly damage the other's reputation. At this point in time, while we don't know much else, Drake and J. Cole really do hate each other, and moving forward, as Drake is still trying to win the goodwill back of anybody who is willing to listen to him with his frequent music.
Especially when you see with the petty, like he said, with the Instagram, Finsta, memes and Instagram stories, that shit will piss any masculine man off. That, especially as a grown adult, that will piss any grown man off. Doing subliminal shots on Instagram. Like, bro, what we doing, man? The same shit Kendrick was talking about. So yeah, man, Drake needs to grow up.
Music drops, and it also seems like Cole is starting to ramp up his feature run again. We are inevitably going to find out more about this situation and what type of disdain each rapper really holds for one another, but if you ask me, when you look at this situation for what it seems like, Drake just lost all respect for Cole when he backed down from Kendrick, and because Drake literally then used Cole over and over again on his diss tracks to try and portray this pathetic figure that Drake would never be and that Cole represents, Cole definitely felt a way about this, and while he is not the type to start or follow up in an all-out beef as we have seen, no rapper or self-respecting person for that matter is gonna let their name get disrespected without doing something to send a message this badly. And
exactly. And then just going back to squads, just look at J. Cole and his squad. Look at Kendrick and his squad. Drake does not have a squad. Just imagine, I made this analogy the other day. Like, just imagine a pickup game. You have Kendrick and TDE, J. Cole, Dreamville, Drake, and OVO. Drake pulling up with Sexy Red and Ice Spice. Man, they ain't doing shit with that championship. Man, they ain't no. Come on, bro.